What's going on, good peoples? I know it's been a minute. Robert T. Green, CEO pre-post game. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. If you see the actual taglines, and I apologize for the wind out here, but I had to do this video and speak truth to power, if you will, because it's been a minute since I literally spoke about many things. For those you know, unfortunately, one of my clients passed away on January 15th, Devin Willock. I miss him greatly, more than you know. Great young man, someone that had, again, literally his whole life ahead of him, full of joy, full of knowledge, full of commitment, full of promise. And basically we were at pre-post game doing everything we could in our power to ensure his long-term success based off his own actions, his own understanding, his own knowledge, and commitment to himself, to his future, by doing things the right way. Professional development is real. Trust the facts, not the process. The reason why I have to speak to certain things again today, because there's a lot been going on. And again, for my own specific edification in business and company-wise, again, how much longer I stay in the sports space is to be determined, because there's a lot that's happened. And again, as I said before, I posted on my birthday, which I haven't acknowledged in over 20 years, that people aren't who they pose, P-O-S-T, or posed, P-O-S-E-D, to be. And that's talking about people in the industry, clients, other people outside the industry. There's a lot of unknown, ununderstood truths. And then when you talk about things like the word collective, NIL, all these things that are not real. And what I mean when I say when it's not real, the reality is, anybody watching this video right now, if I ask you what NIL is, all you could tell me is name, image, and likeness. And then the next statement I'll say back to you, I would say, whose name, image, and likeness? You couldn't answer that question. And that's the problem, because not only is it a problem for you, but it's a problem for those that literally that are signing NIL deals with collectives in business, or in terms they do not understand, and not understand what they get themselves into. For people who never even worked with an athlete at any level, at the youth, collegiate, pro, transition level, which we have in pre-post game, which is why we say we are the ones that originated what is being portrayed at what they call NIL. And the NIL is a term of an acronym. Again, no different than NCAA. If I asked you who was the NCAA, you could not point to them, because there's a lot of people out around this world, all around this world, that literally had no interest in seeing predominantly minority-based athletes get paid for what they brought to the table off their athletic, physical, and also intellectual property in this industry over the last 150 years. Again, trust the facts, not the process. So with that reason, and with that being said, you see guys like Baby Gronk, and once again, I'm on this live because I got to speak to this as someone who worked with at-risk youth, that worked with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, that works in and created a program in our sports business accelerator, as well as our micro learning academy, about professional development. What this father, what this dad is doing to this young man, Baby Gronk, all you gotta do is Google it, and what he did on the video is absolutely deplorable. So when I say sports trafficking is real, I mean what I say. It doesn't matter if you birthed them, doesn't matter if you burped them, it don't matter if you baptize them, it don't matter if you coach them, it doesn't matter. The world does not need people out there taking advantage of these young people who literally all they want to do is live their best lives. And you, as what we talking about in this scenario as a parent, trying to live vicariously through them, is absolutely a disgrace. And in some parts of the world, in some type of scenario, what this man is doing to this young man who is 10 years old, that has him pulling trucks, in many cases in areas, depending on what happens with this kid, this father might be in some serious trouble when it comes to CPS. Because a 10-year-old is not supposed to be pulling trucks. A 10-year-old is not supposed to be training 5 to 6 days a week. As someone that represents, manages, orchestrates training, transitions people, I understand what I speak of, because I am a subject matter expert. Trust the facts, not the process. So when we started all this, so now everybody's an NIL expert, telling kids what they need to do, how to do, collective. So I'm gonna break this down. It doesn't matter what your political affiliation is. It doesn't matter what your actual religion is. It doesn't matter what your color is. Doesn't matter what your race is. Everyone that's breathing the air right now understand time is money. So I'm going to break this down when it comes to time is money from a representative and representation standpoint. And so when you say the term collective, that means you put them all together. Put them all together. Time is money. So you see all these trees out here right now. Time is money. If all of a sudden I said, you know what, someone's going to pay me money to basically be responsible for all of these trees right there, and everybody keeps paying me. All these trees are responsible to me. You're paying me. How much time for the money you paying me could I basically tend to the needs and the care for all those trees? It's not possible. So in another terms, from the industry standpoint, if I was Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Serena Williams, David Beckham, any other athlete, and we go work for a representative, be part of an agency, and say, oh, he represents that guy, this guy, that guy. Now you got companies that in the sports industry on the pro level now coming together as a conglomerate, making this one big, huge pot. So now as the athlete, as the business owner, as the actual influencer that's compensating these people to represent my best interests, how much time do they have to put into me and my best interests based off the money that I'm compensating them? And the answer is slim to none. Trust the facts, not the process. So what's being missed with this whole term and collectives for young men and women who wants to be compensated for who they are, when you go and someone drives you into a market, if you will, and we take these same trees again, we call it monopoly, because that's what it is, monopoly money. When they say they're going to represent you and do a deal with or for you, they're basically counting on you being all those trees over there, and then someone giving me money. And when they give me money, I'm going to take a small portion that I get as a collective, and then I'm going to spread that amongst all you trees and see if you grow. Like hell you are. It's not possible. So not understanding professional development, not understanding succession planning, not understanding financial literacy, not understanding contract negotiation, not understanding your value and your worth. All these things while you go to school to get educated for, not understanding the lay of the land. When the universities now have to tell you how much money that they brought in, they earned this year. If people who don't know understand what I'm saying, is that if the Big Ten collected $2 billion last year, and basically your income for that year was $25 million, and your expenses was $17 million. Basically, the only reason why you would know that information is because you fall under one category in this country to make what you made and what you earned this year actually public knowledge. In this case, when you're talking about universities, we're talking about 501c3s, not for profit. Right? So again, NCAA not for profit. Many people don't know until 2014 the NFL was considered not for profit. Just the facts, not for profit, not the process. But in the same situation, if your expenses as a 501c3 is 17 million, do you not understand that doesn't account for the TV revenue? That does not account for the apparel revenue, the vending revenue, the parking lot revenue, and that nature as well. And then when you say 17 million in expenses, if you pay for that jersey, those pants, you pay for this, you pay for that, well, that falls under your business expenses. So what happens when you have business expenses in a business? If you understand ownership, you understand that's deductions. So at the end of the day, for every qualified athlete that gets to a certain level that wants to see themselves be able to earn money, become who they truly want to be as entrepreneurs, as people that want to own their rights to their name and image and likeness and their intellectual property, I strongly suggest you contact us, the subject matter experts at theprepostgame.com. Do not basically fall victim and trap to basically becoming one of these trees where someone who basically tells you what you want to hear, not what you need to know, is actually able to minimize your NIL. My name is Robert T. Green. I'm the CEO of Pre-Post Game. Trust the facts, not the process.